What's up guys, Romsicle here, and today we're taking a look at a pair of Brandless QC35s. So these have the design of it, but not the logo, and we're going to see how well the quality is. These headphones are $50, and in comparison to the $350 authentic version, it's definitely worth a steal, and the audio quality is surprisingly good. And yes, this does have real active noise cancellation, and it works amazingly. I'm going to refer to the Brandless QC35s as the V12s, and you'll find out later why. But anyways, inside you get a 3.5 to 2.5mm jack, a micro USB cable, and you also get an airline adapter. So these are the headphones in question. So basically the entire design is basically the same as the authentic QC35s, but as you can see, my pair happens to have a little brand on it. And why did I say brandless? Well, this one came from a seller on Amazon, which happened to have this brand Wellqual in it. If you're in Amazon Canada, you can get this on Amazon, but if you're everywhere else in the world, you can get it on DHgate, and that version does not have any brands on it. But the version that we have here does have a brand on it, but you can ignore it because everything else is the same. This headband here has a very comfortable foam and it won't give you any head pressure, and is one of the only visible differences from the authentic QC35s, where the top is the same but the authentic version has suede instead of leather all around. But moving to the side, they're basically the exact same thing. There's some different separation lines on the brackets, but this is something you will never notice unless you have a side-by-side comparison. The inside brackets are also the same, the joints are also the same, and it's basically exactly the same silhouette with some subtle little differences. And finally, we have the cans of the headphones where we see the most visible differences. The V12 happens to have a shinier surface while the QC35s have more of a textured finish, even though both of them are matte. The pivoting joints on the V12s are in fact a little larger than the QC35s, but the materials feels almost the exact same. The V12 switch is only there to activate ANC, while the QC35 uses it as a power button as well as to pair Bluetooth. Ear cup sizing and materials are definitely the same, and so is their comfort and passive noise cancellation. The microphone placements and sizes are similar, but you can obviously see the differences. The V12 doesn't have NFC connection, and the headphone jack and micro USB ports are actually opposite of each other. To be clear about the design differences, this model replicates the version 1 of the QC35s, where there was no voice control button like it does on the version 2. So even if someone saw you with these headphones, they'd probably think you're using the version 1 and not a straight replica of it. And besides, there's no logo on it, so technically they don't even know they're QC35s unless they follow headphones. As for comfort, it's exactly the same as the authentic QC35s. The ear pads are very plush and soft, and without ANC it actually gives you passive noise cancellation, which is actually really impressive. And the only difference in terms of comfort is the headband, but overall with long periods of use, it doesn't hurt your head, it doesn't give you a headache. The clamping isn't tight at all, and it just feels comfortable for long periods of use, short periods of use. It just feels awesome and incredible, and just like the authentic QC35s. For connectivity, it uses Bluetooth 4.0, and you need to hold the middle button till it flashes red and blue, then you can pair it to your device just like any other Bluetooth device. When the ANC is on, the light is green, but you still also have this annoying blue flash, so you can probably cover it with some electrical tape and it'll be just fine. For controls, you're gonna love this because it's so stupid. The middle button plays and pauses media, and normally the top and bottom buttons would control volume with a single click, right? But not this guy. One click changes the track, and holding the button changes the volume of the headphones and not the device, which gets really annoying. Like, this headphone had it going so well for itself, and then they programmed this trash to ruin the experience. Like, come on. Battery life is pretty good, with 12 hours of usage using ANC the entire time, and you can still listen to it via the cable if your batteries run out. As for sound quality, the frequencies are fairly balanced. When you're listening to this normally without ANC on, the higher frequencies are a little muddled out, so you don't really get much of the high notes, but you get more of the mids and the bass notes, which is okay for regular listening, but once you turn on the ANC, it's a huge difference. All of a sudden, it turns into open back headphones, and you can hear your voice a little better. You can hear the highs like excessively better, like almost like a sudden pair of different headphones when you turn the ANC on. In the beginning, all the music is in the center, with the mids and the heavy notes, the bass, and with little high notes, and then when you turn it on, all of a sudden the environment suddenly turns wider and you can hear so much more of the audio. The high kicks in and everything is just turned up with the quality. It's just absolutely stunning. Here's a simulated test of the headphones with the ANC. So yeah, I would definitely recommend you using ANC the entire time because the audio difference between no ANC and with ANC is a huge difference. Of course, the V12's ANC is not going to be as good as the double layered ANC on the QC35s, but it's pretty good considering this is a pair of $50 headphones. There definitely is a bit of hissing noise when you turn on the ANC, but that's expected for a cheap pair of active noise cancellation headphones. The passive noise cancellation is already good thanks to the ear cups, but with the ANC on, it makes a huge difference in sound quality. As for issues, there's gotta be a few, right? It's a cheap pair of ANC headphones, there's gotta be a few problems. But there's only 2 issues and they're all rooted with ANC, so if you're not using ANC, these issues do not exist. Number 1 is that you can't run with these headphones with ANC on. So the way ANC works is that it uses a bunch of microphones on the outside of the headphones to find out what's in your environment, and then that isolates it with the drivers inside the headphones. But when you shake it around, the microphones also move, and then you get these abrupt stops in your audio. So that's why I wouldn't recommend doing any kind of vigorous workouts, specifically just running. And if you're using your head a lot and moving around a lot, it's going to affect it a little bit. So if you're doing anything with sports that require you to move your head a lot, it's definitely going to impact you a lot. But without ANC, that's not an issue whatsoever. Number 2 is the feedback of these headphones. These headphones actually don't do very well in terms of super high frequencies and high volumes. And these are like super high frequency noises. Like if you're listening to like ballads and regular singing and those high notes, those are fine. It's just that when it gets to really high notes, high frequencies, and you're at high volume, it definitely distorts just a little bit that you can hear it. It's not crazy of a distortion, but you'll definitely be able to hear it. And since it does use microphones on this headphone, it gets a little bit of feedback sometimes, but it's not really an issue as long as you're not moving the headset around too much. Once it's on your head and you turn it on, there's basically no feedback. But once you start moving it around a little bit like this or so, trying to adjust it on your head, sometimes you can get some feedback and it's not that pleasant. But it's not a big deal. Overall, I really like this pair of headphones because it's cheap, it's only $50, and it has the design of the QC35s because I can't pay that price point of $350. You're getting great comfort, you're getting majority of all the features that you're getting in the QC35s. It's available in black and silver on DHgate, and if you're on Amazon, you can get the branded version, but I would recommend just getting the brandless version from DHgate because it just looks a little cleaner without any unnecessary logos. Comfort-wise, the exact same thing as the QC35s. The ear cups are the exact same material. Passive noise cancellation is good. Active noise cancellation is good. And I just gotta say, it's a good deal to get these headphones, especially when they're not branded. Clean design, clean audio, and it's just awesome. And I just love the fact that the ANC makes the sound quality go from a muddled, centered version into this open back, surrounded sound signature, and it's just awesome to hear, and the difference is just absolutely stunning. And for the price point and my experience, I think it's worth a look, so links are going to be in the description down below to see the correct product. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you have any questions about these headphones and their build quality and anything like that, let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to answer them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.